So we just reviewed that first trust chart in our last video. And so now I wanted to point you to a chart very similar by Capital Group. And this chart is interesting. Look, here we have market downturns. And we know that market downturns are painful, but history shows us they're common. Over the long term, stocks have actually been resilient. Check this out. From 1987 to 2025, we could see the growth in stocks. And so what's the key takeaway here? The key takeaway, I find this very interesting. Imagine going back to New Year's Day of 2020 and learning in advance what the next 6 years would bring. It would bring a pandemic, a global pandemic, inflation topping 9%, multiple wars, and the highest US tariffs in decades. And yet, if you would have stayed invested, if you would have ignored what seemed to be pretty troubling news, markets would have pushed through each of these shocks. And in fact, they would have achieved new highs. So if on that January morning of 2020, you ignored everything, stayed invested, the S&P 500 index would have risen more than 128%.